Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. I could hear everything you were saying in that other recording. And
Oh,
at one point you said Douglas, and I said, "Oh, official."
of course.
Uh,
If we use full name, like, we know something's wrong.
yeah, that's it's a lot like whenever your parents use your full name. You're like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
So, what you been up to, buddy?
Well, nothing really. Had a shit nap. I mean, shit
Nah.
sleep basically, and so drank some coffee, and here I am.
Nice. I actually so this morning I had most of my review for the Bloodline done, but I just wanted to go ahead and uh there was one more aspect of the game that I wanted to try before I put out my early because it's an early access game. Uh, and there was just one thing that I wanted to like touch on before I put out my review, and I was like, man, after I put this out, I'm gonna really dig into Tales of Arise, and that's gonna be the only game that I have to play until Spider-Man comes out on Friday, and then I got the email saying, "Oh, Diablo 4's new season drops today." I was like, "Okay, well, I can manage that." And then, like right after that, I got another game, another review code come in. I was like, "Well, shit."
Man, there's no rest for the wicked.
So yeah, I actually I played what was left. And the thing is with the Bloodline, there's still like plenty. There's still like plenty of stuff for me to do. It's just like stuff that I've already. It's like a couple more dungeons here and there, and some. There's a few places on the map that I still need to go to. But
Yeah.
uh, so I finished what I needed to review the early access build, and then I started. I finished the review. I uploaded it, and then I started Alaskan Road. The game is called Alaskan Road Truckers. I stopped myself there because the technically it is under embargo, but this episode is not coming out until after the embargo's up. So
Hell
uh,
yeah, technicalities.
technical get you every time. Uh, but yeah, but yeah, so I started that game very briefly, and happy to see so far that it does have controller support. Because the last few review codes that I've gotten have not controller support, but this appears to have that. So I'm really excited for that. So I'll be able to play it on my Steam Deck, and
Nah.
yeah, so I'm gonna really start that in earnest probably tomorrow because I think tonight I'm gonna take a break from Tales of Arise because I really do want to try that new Diablo 4 season.
Well, you have fun no matter what you do.
I will. I will. Speaking of Diablo, have you been seeing the? So Ubisoft has been doing it where they've been slowly bringing their games back to Steam, and I'm betting that a certain portable device is a big factor in that. Uh,
Yeah.
but Blizzard has been doing it as well. They brought Overwatch 2 over not that long ago,
That did
and
well.
today they just brought Diablo 4 over,
Also,
and
that's what I saw it on this Steam store that like not too long ago.
yeah, and I haven't like I went to because I saw somebody that I follow on Twitter saying in 1 hour we're going to see how the reviews fare on Diablo 4 Steam page, and I looked and I saw that the tweet was from 2 hours ago, so I was like, oh, well, it should be up now. So I went and looked, and apparently some technical issue delayed the launch, like at the last second, and it just now got uploaded onto the Steam page. Can you see if the reviews are up yet?
Give me a second. Go into the page. I mean, if I look up the little thing like all reviews, yeah, it says mixed, and the first four that pop up are negative.
Ah, of course they are.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8 with at 10 there's one positive.
Nice, nice, and that is uh, Diablo 4 is going to tie it in the theme of this episode. Uh, but that is honestly okay. Overwatch 2 absolutely deserves it. Diablo 4 is innocent. Y'all need to leave it alone. Diablo 4 is a really good game.
Look, I'm not gonna say anything because I have not played any of the Diablo games. I have no idea about them. I haven't even played any
Uh,
Diablo-like games, just to like make it clear like how little I know about Diablo. But
One of these days,
I've heard mixed stuff.
now
about
I will say the one thing that I don't agree with on how this integration is done. Overwatch 2 did not have this issue because Overwatch 2 is free to play.
Yeah.
But Diablo 4, I would love to be able to natively launch from Steam instead of having to go through BattleNet. But I cannot do that because in order to do that, I would have to repurchase Diablo 4, and I'm not doing it.
Oh, why? You don't want to repurchase the game like the developers intended you to?
No, look here. Look, I'm not proud of this, but okay. So I bought Diablo 4, like I pre-ordered the PC edition, and then not long after that, a friend of mine came up to me and he said, "Hey, I have a way for you to get the Ultimate Edition on another console if you want, for only $30. Do you want to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I kind of do." So I bought it twice, and I'm not gonna buy it a third time. That's where I draw the line.
I don't know. How many times you bought Skyrim?
I don't want to talk. I don't tell you that. You know what? That's rude. None of your business. But now, okay, now I'm thinking about it. Okay, so I bought it on PC. I bought it on the 360. I bought it on PS3. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I definitely had it on Switch. I had it on Xbox One. I'm pretty sure I have it on PlayStation 4. I got it for free on PlayStation 5. I don't remember how. I got a free upgrade. I got the free upgrade when it went to Xbox Series S and X. And then I will say I never got the Legendary Edition, like which is the newest edition. So I did grow I grew a backbone eventually.
About time.
No, you know what? I actually got it twice on 360 because I bought the original version and then I bought the Game of the Year edition.
So
But I don't need your judgment. So
it's okay. I'm already judging you. No problem.
and you know what? I had even told myself when the Switch edition came out, I was like, I'm not getting it. And then I want to say my wife was playing it on the Xbox on the big screen, and I was like, it'd be really cool if I could just play on the couch next to her. And then I looked, and the Switch edition was 50% off, and I was like, why not?
God damn it, they got you.
They got me. What's even worse is we did that for like 2 nights, and then she got tired of. I was like, well, shit. And then I don't think since then I've never gone back to that Skyrim edition on Switch because also I'm pretty sure that's when my Steam Deck came in. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna play this inferior version anymore. It was that Toy Story meme where it was like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
That came to mind when you said that.
Yeah. I just started and the thing is I have never played it on my Steam Deck. I've never even downloaded Skyrim on my Steam Deck because at this point I've played about as much Skyrim as I can stomach.
I could imagine after having bought it so many times.
That being said, so today I don't know if you know this, Leo, but it's the spookiest time of the year. It's the best time of the year.
It's very spooky.
Forget Christmas, forget Thanksgiving. It's Halloween, baby. And I thought that it would be a really good idea to talk about our favorite, not necessarily horror games, but just games that have a spooky theme to them. Horror adjacent, really.
Yeah.
And then me and you both decided to do it to where we are doing games that we have never talked about on this podcast, or haven't. More or less, we haven't talked about in depth, like the Resident Evil games. We can't talk about those.
Yeah, because I feel like the audience probably knows enough about Resident Evil at this point.
Yeah, at one point, my wife said, "I would listen to the podcast more, but I gotta talk about Resident Evil." So we're basically, I'm gonna say we're gonna go until we run out of time here. So I'm gonna let you pick your game first.
Oh no, you go first this time. I started last time.
Oh, that is fair. So I'm going to start off with the Diablo series, and we're going to start with Diablo 4. Um, but really, I'm talking about Diablo 4, but Diablo as a whole, really, because it's always been it's a a top down action RPG, but it's always had a horror like a horror theme to it. You're always fighting demons and stuff, but I would say Diablo 3 is more of a lighter game, but Diablo 4 really, Diablo 2 and 4 really had those. They are dark games, and I remember. You remember Remy?
Yeah, I remember Remy.
Okay, so he actually sent me a TikTok when Diablo 4 came out earlier this year, and basically in Diablo 3, you were really never challenged unless you went to the super hardest difficulty, and it's basically playing Diablo 3, and it's that song like "Making My Way Downtown," like that song.
Yeah.
And then like Diablo 4 is just hardcore black death metal.
What the hell?
But it's basically Diablo 4. I played an absolute an unhealthy amount. Emily and I started playing it together, but Diablo 4 is a lot longer than Diablo 3 was. And she kind of fell off. So I started a new character that I could play on my own because she said she was going to come back. Spoiler alert, she has not come back. Uh, so my poor level 30 something necromancer is still waiting for her to come back.
Four.
Yeah, I named him Skeletor, and it's a shame that he'll never get used.
That's such a good
But
name,
yeah,
too.
it's for a necromancer. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
So basically, uh, Diablo 4, the main. I mean, there's a campaign. Uh, it's got a really good story to it, and you're going through. You're killing an obscene amount of demons, spiders, goat men. There's zombies. There's skeletons. Like all. I don't think
All
there
the
are
spooky
vampires.
creatures.
I don't think there are vampires in the original game, but there are now. Because season 2 just dropped, and I think the theme is like vampiric, a lot of vampire things. Uh, but yeah, it's just a really good dark horror game. That's it's just really good to play with the family, and it's
Of course. Like Drag Me to Hell, a family movie.
yeah, that's a really good family movie actually. It's about traditional American Christian values, and but Diablo. I've always had I have played Diablo 3 an unhealthy amount of times. I've played Diablo 3 more times than I bought Skyrim. And
That's for everybody who's not keeping track. That's a lot of times.
yeah, and I'm not saying it because it's none of your business. But yeah, that Diablo is just it's a really good it's a good podcast game, especially with the seasonal content because the seasonal content basically you have to start a new character to play the new content, and basically it's like a battle pass system almost, where you're going through like to. I'm not sure how this new battle pass works, but you have to do like it'll be like, hey, to advance the battle pass, go do 3 dungeons, and you'll go do 3 dungeons, and it'll be like, all right, go kill X amount of enemies, and it's just a good game to just after you beat the campaign, don't listen to the podcast we're doing the campaign because the campaign's really good. But after you do the campaign, just turn on a podcast and you're just killing a bunch of spooky creatures, and it's a good time all the way around.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And it plays spectacular on the Steam Deck, and this just works. You link your Battle.net account to whatever system you're playing on, and your save data carries over. So I can switch over seamlessly from PC to PS5.
It's like a Bethesda game. It just works.
It just works. Not always the best, but it just works. All right, so I'm turning it. Yeah, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about a game you were actually kind of mad to think about first. BioShock 1.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I mean, you and me, we both played the game. You know how it starts. Plane crash.
I do.
Go down the very creepy tower. I mean, the creepy lighthouse. Just like a random city in the middle of the sea. It looks
Yeah.
beautiful. It looks beautiful as you're coming down. you're
Yes.
impressed, and you
And then
start
it's
going
not
in,
beautiful.
and then you go in, and holy shit,
There's the creepy little kids that are exactly like real kids.
yeah. They even just randomly stab people like little kids.
There's crackheads just like Louisiana.
Yeah, makes you feel like home.
It did. Like the first time somebody tried to hit me with a crack pipe, I was like, "Huh, this feels like home."
But yeah, no, the atmosphere is it's just amazing. Every time, everywhere you go, it stands. You have no idea what's gonna pop up from like behind you or like maybe right in front of you because something shit just happens. And like everywhere you go, like you see like what you can obviously see is like the remains of what once was beautiful.
Yes.
And you see like these perversions of all this stuff like people like find like um what's the word um what people want like the perversion
Desires.
of like the mad artist like
Mad Hatter.
basically. I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah.
he loves use a bunny mask.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but like yeah, and the doctor who's just like basically went nuts with power.
Yeah, and see, this was oh well, this was in Bioshock 2, but I mean the same setting. Almost,
Yeah, fair.
there was a crazy pastor that I found very endearing in Bioshock 2.
Oh, the pastor, yeah.
That
The only thing
was
I was sad is that they not give him uh his own model just to like differentiate him from the other spider splicers.
yeah, and I actually so I played Bioshock 2. Don't you dare make fun of me. I played it on the Switch, and
He
I,
made it on the Switch.
see, okay, so I had bought the Bioshock collection like when they remastered all of them,
Oh,
and I
was that
played through.
good?
Uh, okay, so I actually my first time beating Bioshock One was the Bioshock Remastered collection, and it was very good.
Okay,
Uh,
because I have the PS3 collect. I have like all the games for PS3.
okay, so the remastered collection that I'm talking about is when they up resed everything for the Xbox One and
Yeah,
PS4.
I have it on Epic because I gave it away a couple months, like maybe
Okay,
like
I got you,
two
got you.
years ago, maybe. I just
And
never
and
played it.
and you know the nice thing about what they did with that remaster is because I had purchased Bioshock One and Two and Infinite on
Yeah.
PC and when that remaster came out, they gave me all the remastered versions for free.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, my save actually got corrupted right after the pastor fight, so I never got past that because I was like, I'm not replaying this game again right now.
Oh, that's sad. Honestly,
But
two is my favorite. Like, no lies. I know a lot of people look down on two, but it's personally my favorite.
I think it's because personally, I think people didn't like two as much because it's not as scary because you're a big daddy and not a normal person, and you're more. I found Bioshock Two a lot easier than one was.
That's its parts. Just consider I played on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, I played on easy, so
Yeah, but it has its parts. It definitely helps that you can dual now. You can use like shoot and
yes.
use plasmids at the same time. It helps a
But yeah,
lot.
and the dystopian theme is absolutely going to come back in my third pick.
Well, dystopia justify the means. You'll know that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
So
I feel we talked about Bioshock. I feel we should go again.
okay, so my number two pick is the now there's two of them, but I'm just doing a blanket statement. Left 4 Dead, one and two.
Ooh, good one.
I played the okay before the Steam Deck. I want to say that Left 4 Dead 2 was my most played game on Steam, and it was by a wide margin. Like I don't know how many hours I have on it now, uh, but I played Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 so much, not just because of not just because of the campaigns, because I mean the campaigns were all really good, and they had the versus modes and like all that good stuff. But the PC version had custom campaigns, and some of them were absolutely out of this world bananas. There was one. This was for Left 4 Dead 1, where
Yeah.
it was a it was a Legend of Zelda inspired dungeon, and
Oh.
you would go through killing zombies like you normally do in Left 4 Dead, but you would be like picking up keys and like moving blocks. And the final boss, I'll never forget this because it was just like such a hype moment for me. I I get the master key, I open this door, and I walk into this giant room, and they had designed a giant metallic dragon, and it was one of the it was one of
It's
my
so
favorite.
sick.
It was one. There was like lava pits everywhere. You had to like avoid it. Like it would breathe. It would breathe very low polygonal flames at you. It was so awesome. And like at that time, this was okay. So Left 4 Dead 1 came out like right when I first started going to St. Louis, but I didn't really know anybody that played PC games.
Yeah.
When Left 4 Dead 2 came out, do you remember Austin Abear?
Yeah, I remember Austin.
Uh, okay, so me and him would play custom campaigns in Left 4 Dead 2 all the time, and
Ah.
there was actually a Left 4 Dead 2 campaign where somebody, keeping in mind that I had not played Resident Evil 2 at this point, but they had recreated the entire Resident Evil 2 campaign in Left 4 Dead 2.
Dude.
To a painstaking degree, the police station, it took us a little over 3 hours to get through that one part of the campaign. And the ending where you escape the police station, we
Yeah.
died an obscene amount of time. Uh, and then at one point we died, and it started us from the beginning of the police station, and we're like, no, we're not doing this again. Uh, just the sheer amount of content that you can get, and keeping in mind that Valve puts their games on sale at ridiculous degrees all the time. I'm pretty sure you can get all the Valve games for like $5 when they go on sale.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, like it is incredibly cheap.
uh, so I mean, you can get these games for and if you like go on like a like a CD key reseller, like a key reseller, like G2A or CD keys, you could probably get this game for like $2-3.
Oh, definitely.
And all of the sheer amount of mods that are available for Left 4 Dead, it is absolutely bonkers. So if you a good co-op horror experience for your Halloween times, you can't go wrong with Left 4 Dead. There's Lord of the Rings inspired maps. There's some Silent Hill maps. The last time
Dude,
I checked, and then
I saw a reproduction of old Silent Hill 1. I could barely get it to
yep,
work because I don't know how to make the custom campaigns work too well. But oh my god, I can't believe like how far they went to like put everything together.
I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to this podcast, if you download Left 4 Dead 2 and you take the time to learn the mods, like how to get them installed and all that, you will never run out of things to do. There are that many campaigns. They're not all good, but they're there.
Yes, they are.
There's campaigns, there's survival maps, and I mean, obviously it's not as popular as it used to be, but I mean, you can still find people online to play with.
Yeah, not to mention the regular campaigns for the game are really good too.
Yeah, and if you buy Left 4 Dead 2, all of the Left 4 Dead 1 maps are available in 2 now. And there's like 4 or 5 DLC campaigns. And I mean, this isn't relevant anymore, but when Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 were, originally came out, if you had the game on console, you had to pay for the DLC, but Valve gave it to you for free on PC.
Yeah, I actually got. You remember Mark?
Yeah, I remember Mark.
Yeah, I actually got him to start playing Left 4 Dead 2 with me on his 360, and I got him to actually buy the campaign DLC.
Nice.
But it was so
Oh man.
good.
And see, that was before crossplay was like crossplay was virtually unheard of back then.
Oh yeah.
But like, that would have been such a great thing if you could have done crossplay back then, because Left 4 Dead would have been a bustling community.
Oh, like no other, dude.
All right, so what's your second pick?
Okay, I wanted to go with controversial Hollow Knight. I'm kidding.
Oh,
It's not
not Hollow
controversial
Knight.
at all.
Not the hard game.
I'm not picking it because it's hard. I'm picking it because it has a really damn good story, and it's just
Well,
you're like,
well, the difficulty certainly scares me.
it's not that bad. I played worse. Unless you're trying to go for like all the hidden stuff, which really will kill you.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky, spooky. No, Hollow Knight. Like all the themes of like basically gods and darkness, how they intermingle, how they how like just the regular characters just react to all that stuff. It could get to you, dude.
Yeah.
Basically, the god of light basically is corrupting everything by turning them into mindless, basically walking bombs sometimes.
Yeah.
Think of think of it like almost like the flood, I guess you could say.
Ooh, those are spooky.
Yeah, it's like the flood from Halo. Like it basically it becomes like this weird like goo, like almost like a fungus.
Yeah.
And this is basically just brought on by basically the aura of this radiant god called the Radiance, creative name.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is just a being of light. It was basically like I guess he wanted to go with like the whole like idea of a moth to a flame, since moths are just attracted to light, bugs in
Yes.
general, that mindlessness. That's what the that's what the radiance does basically does. While the void, which is just like an emptiness, is just like a little thing that consumes everything, is like tried to be used to control it. But neither, but the like all the characters that try to use this force like have no. It feels like they have no idea what they're playing with. So no matter, so like you just see like this world devastated by these two forces. Not to mention DLCs.
DLCs.
God damn the DLCs! I still have to beat them.
I will net. Like, I'm so glad that there are people so excited for Silk Song, and I want I want to be excited with y'all, but I'm not touching this thing with a 10-foot pole.
Why? It looks so good. I want to play it. I'm gonna get it. You know I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, and I will listen to you with bells on my toes.
I'll take you with me to the Path of Pain Part 2.
Nope. All right. All right. Well, uh, you got any more thoughts on it?
Oh, I basically said what I wanted to say about it. You're welcome to go ahead with your next one.
Okay, so I am going to go ahead with quite potentially one of the most important games of my gaming career. Uh,
Welcome to Kowloon.
so, I mean, yes, but no. Uh, The Last of Us. In particular, the first one, but again, both of them apply. Uh, when this game came out in 2013, I almost did not get it because at the time I was going through a very, very rough and messy breakup. Like I've gotten divorced, and this breakup was still worse. Uh, so I just remember that, like in that time, I would go on like a lot of drives, and just I had a lot of extra money at the time, and I was like, maybe I'll go get a game. Maybe that's what I need to do. So I walked into GameStop and I just saw The Last of Us. I saw Naughty Dog, and the last game of theirs that I had actually played was Uncharted 2. And I was like, well, I really liked Uncharted 2, so I'm going to try this game. Having no inkling of what it was. I had no, because like I wasn't really that dialed into games media at the time.
Yeah.
And so I picked up the game, and I actually had my friend Caleb call me, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I actually just bought this game. It's called The Last of Us." He's like, "Dude, if you bring my parents just got this new TV. If you bring that game over here, we'll hook it up to their 60-inch TV, and we'll have a time of it." So we for the next this also worth noting, this was over summer vacation, so I had a lot of free time,
Yeah.
and over the next 2 weeks, every single day, we would basically alternate. I would from playing at my and then I would bring the PlayStation over to his house, and we would sit down and we would play this game. And it's to this day, it's one of my favorite gaming memories of just like whoever's doing the traveling. Would basically like they would show up and like we would go out, we'd get pizza, we'd get like burger, like drive-through food, and we would just eat trash and play this incredible video game. And I remember after we finished, after credits rolled, I never forget. It was just like a feeling of emptiness, and I haven't I didn't really experience that again until the end of Last of Us Part Two, actually. Uh, and both of these games had such I mean they've got horror elements. Obviously, I mean you're dealing with not only clickers, which are basically zombies but way more terrifying, uh, but even more scarier. You're dealing with people, and you Last of Us Part One had a lot of really memorable moments in it, but Last of Us Part Two, that was the that was a game that I played. It came out in 2020, so I played it, as I was recovering from my vasectomy, and I played through that game. And I remember that my son had stayed home with me, and you know, watching the credits roll in that game, there is a very strong message like that. You'll understand it, if you're not a parent, but since I was a parent, that message just I felt like I got ran over by a truck as I was watching the credits roll. And like I just remember sitting there in silence and just not even really paying attention to the names and like scrolling by on the screen. But it was such a I've never had a game experience like it. And I strongly recommend that. Like Last of Us Part One it's fixed on Steam now. Uh, so if you have a PC or you have a PlayStation 5, I would strongly recommend that you play both of these games because they are absolutely incredible. Uh, there's a faction in Last of Us Part Two called the Whistlers, and they communicate by whistling, and it is exactly as terrifying as it sounds. Uh, the first time you encounter them, you're actually walking up to a forest, and you don't even there. You hear a whistle, and you have no idea what it is. You just hear a whistle, and then the next thing you know, you're just immediately being attacked. There's no warning, no nothing, and it's one of the most terrifying game experiences I've ever had.
Interesting. Uh, Last of Us. Honestly, Last of Us is a game I have the first one for PS3. I love playing the story, but it is not a game I can enjoy playing again. I'll say that much.
Well, I mean, and
Um,
really, with the Last
oh,
of
go
Us
ahead.
series, if you watch the series, good enough.
I guess. No,
Because I
but
mean,
I'm. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, I am not. Like, I'm not a biggest. I find I find them good games. I just don't find them as great as like everybody else seems to find them. I'll say that's what I wanted to say. Like I said, I
Oh,
really enjoyed like the story. Um, had a decent time with the game, but I would never play it again. And I just feel like that's a
that's
big
fair.
hit for like me ranking the game as like masterpiece.
That's fair. I mean, again, I don't have to tell you how many times I played The Last of Us. I don't have to tell you that. All right,
Right.
so that's my third pick. So I'm gonna let you give your final pick now.
All right. Well, I was trying to think of a game to not go into the Soul series, but I gotta talk about
Oh, you're
Bloodborne.
about to say Bloodborne.
I mean, it's the most horror-inspired one of the bunch. I guess I could go Sekiro if I wanted to go more like Japanese yokai and shit. But
Yeah, and I mean, if you would have played it, yeah, because I know you haven't got to play it yet, but Liza P is pretty is that game that is as close as we're ever gonna get to Bloodborne 2.
don't Don't say words that hurt me.
You
It's not
I just hear
nice.
I just hear a sob from him. Shut up.
Just no. Don't hurt me like that, dude. Don't hurt me like that. So we're friends.
Ah, so Bloodburn.
Yeah. This is more of a. I mean, it starts off with some more like a Victorian kind of horror vibe. The like the typical like high archways, like what you would expect from like a vampire, like an old timey vampire, maybe werewolf movie.
Uh-huh.
And it just evolves into this craziness of like Lovecraftian horror, where you're going into dreams, seeing nightmares, seeing this weird stuff. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like this mix. I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had a phone call come through, but can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, the phone call didn't screw us.
Hell yeah! We got
I
saved.
think maybe I just caught it in time.
Oh god. Oh
Okay, so
man.
finish your Bloodborne thoughts.
God, I forgot where I left off. What was the last you heard?
You're talking about how it starts off with the Victorian horror, and then it goes to like in your classic, what you expect from like vampire stuff.
Okay, yeah, there it goes to like Lovecraftian horror. You're seeing this weird shit where you're like, how is this like, how is this here? You're going into dreams, nightmares. There's a stuff about crossing like basically the gods basically having children through mortals, and how that
Not
became
the
a religion.
mortals.
Yeah, how that became a religion. How it's just happening again. Um, well, blood and guts everywhere. Um, you basically like I think like we talked about last time. Like I mentioned last time. You fight the basically you basically have like in through the game you're eating umbilical cords. You're
Nice.
you're killing basically a dead god's basically misshapen son that's basically was born after his mother has died.
Hell yeah.
And it's just an experience. It's so it's so amazing.
Now I will say that like I feel like I've played enough Elden Ring to like I'm gonna go back and replay it one day and like actually finish it because I feel at this point if I pick up my save I'm not gonna know what I'm doing. So like my plan is to just replay it with the easy mode mod on to start.
I was gonna say
And
if you want you can, if you're playing on PC you can just ask me and I'll help you. I have like a
yeah,
level
but
300 character.
but if I do that, they will get very mad at me for using the easy mode mod.
Well,
they, they tend to.
don't use it. I'll be your easy mode.
I'm shaking my
You
head
just stay
vigorously right now.
you just stay alive.
But not being good at Souls games has never hurted more than when I saw Bloodborne because I was like, I really want to play you, but I know I never will.
Oh god. It
Uh,
really is just an experience, dude.
well, do you have any closing thoughts?
Spoopy games are fun.
Yes, they are. You should play all the spoopy games.
Oh, I
There's
love them.
actually for anybody listening, there is actually a humble bundle with some scary games up right now, so you can check that out. They don't sponsor us, but they should because I give them a lot of money. Uh, with that being said, happy Halloween, everybody! Because when you listen to this, it'll be Halloween.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me, Leo.
No, thanks for having me. It's actually very fun to talk about like this games that we're probably not gonna touch on in any other circumstance.
Absolutely. See you later, buddy.
See you later, man.